Alright, what's up YouTube? This is Ace here. I want to bring you guys a quick tip video. I think this is one of the beginner tips I'd tell anyone in a Halo game and really any FPS game in general. This is probably the main thing that you need to understand to be able to have a good shot in any FPS. So, right when you pick up an FPS for the first time, one of the biggest struggles you have is moving both sticks, the left analog stick and the right analog stick, so moving around your Spartan and also aiming at other people and shooting them, obviously, at the exact same time. So, the first thing that you need to do in Halo, and well, in any FPS, is find out what sensitivity you like to play on. Right now, I'm playing on 3 or 4 sensitivity, look sensitivity, and then 2 acceleration. That's really what the majority of pro players play. They either play 3 sensitivity, 4 acceleration, or 5 acceleration, or 3 acceleration, or 4 sensitivity and 1 acceleration, or 2 acceleration, or maybe 3 acceleration if they like to play on a little bit faster. I've always been a player that is, I've always been like more of an aggressive mobile player, so I play on a higher sensitivity than most people, and that's just how I play and how I prefer it, but it's really all about your preference and what you're used to. But if you're a beginner, I'd honestly recommend that you play on a lower sensitivity just to get used to FPS games in general and, become better over time doing that. So, what you need to understand about a Halo fight, especially we'll talk about a pistol fight, is that a lot of times people just, strafe side to side in a fight just because that's the easiest thing to do to, make the enemy player miss. Right? So I got my friend Hypo over here. He's just moving left and right. That's really like what you want to do as well, just so you try to make the other player miss as well. And it's also easier for you to control your aim and shoot them. Because what I'm going to try to explain to you right here is that you need to be able to have the most steady shot possible, you want to use your left analog stick more than your right analog stick to, be able to lock onto your target and hit them. Because obviously, if, say, someone's strafing and you're just using your right analog stick and only moving that, and you're kind of standing still, and maybe you're moving, you're trying to use both your sticks at the same time too much, then it's always going to be harder to, like, recorrect and predict where the enemy's going to be. So you're going to have to, move it around a bunch, and then you have a higher chance of missing your shots if you're moving your right analog stick more. So the idea is to use your left analog stick more than your right analog stick to be able to keep your shot steady and keep it steady on the person so you don't miss any shots. So when I'm in a battle, I'll just kind of leave my right analog stick, my aimer, obviously my reticle, kind of still on the screen and only really use my left analog stick to move to obviously avoid enemy shots and make sure that I hit the shots on the enemy. So go back to red. A lot of times, if we're just in a side-by-side strafe battle, I'm just going to move left and right and hopefully, not let them leave the target. Because a lot of times, the enemy will kind of strafe into where you're looking because they're following your strafe as you're strafing. Because they're kind of like the player is reacting to you. So, a lot of times, they will follow up and they'll line up with where you want to go. And it'll just hit them every time, and all you gotta do is pull the trigger. And instead of having to move your right stick and aiming, keep on correcting your aim every single time, it's much easier to just, if they're far away, to just move your left analog stick and move side to side if they move to the left or right, instead of just correcting it and standing still and moving right and left like that. It's much harder to shoot when you're doing that. So, pretty much how a lot of players go into battles, like Go Kart 2. That's pretty much what every single pro player does when they're going into a battle. Is just kind of strafe and shoot me. Kind of just use your left analog stick to shoot instead of your right analog stick. Obviously, I didn't hit the headshot. If I did zoom in and hit him with the headshot there, he would have died in 5 bullets. But it's much easier to use your left analog stick than your right when you're trying to keep your shot steady. And that's the main thing that some amateur players or some beginning players don't understand when they're trying to make their shot as good as possible in a first-person shooter. So it's really the main thing that you have to understand when you're playing first-person shooter games. I hope you guys learned something from this, and stay tuned for more videos.